Pete is Liverpool Irish, so born in Liverpool, third generation from a Dublin family. So he moved down to London to start university in, I think it was 1985, to study music at Goldsmiths. Would you believe he was already playing the fiddle, and he went to a festival with a friend, and that friend recommended me as a teacher, and he came to my advanced fiddle class. So that's how we first met, but we were friends for a very long time, and we were even in the band as friends before we were ever a couple. My mum's family are from South Connemara in County Galway, and my dad's from South Mayo. But particularly on my mum's side, her parents played the melodeon and sang, and then all of her siblings either danced or sang or played music. So it was always in the family home in Connemara, and when we were going back for family holidays, we'd hear it lots. And decided we'd like to learn it ourselves, and there were classes in Camden Town at the time, which I started, I think I was aged 8 or 9, I think, when I started learning music here in London. And the girls, who are now 15, nearly 16, well, I guess they've been surrounded by music since they were babies, really. My husband, Pete, he and I were still touring with our band, and the girls would always come away with us on tour, so there was no escaping the music, I guess. We were playing with a band called the London Lasses, and Pete was the accompanist with that band for many years. And I remember the girls' first plane trip was at the age of 5.5 weeks to Guernsey, because we were playing at a festival there. And we always imagined that because twins don't tend to go full term, that they would be quite a considerable age at that stage, but they were very comfortable. They went to 39 weeks and they were only 5.5 weeks when we had to get a special letter from the doctor to say they were all healthy and fit to fly and everything. So that was the first trip, and then in that first year we also went on tour to Germany. So there was 6 band members, and we always brought somebody with us to be looking after the girls while we were on stage and putting them to bed, always a friend. You know, nursery rhymes sung in the tour van and all that. And I think they probably played their first few notes on the whistle with me at home when they were about 3, and then just did little bits here and there on the whistle and the fiddle, and then they started coming to the group classes that I teach in North London, and playing a few other instruments now as well between you.
Well, I was inspired to pick up the pipes because of Paul McGovern. Sorry, I said his name wrong. I saw him on stage with his band, I think and I was just like, wow, he looks so cool. What he's playing is so cool, I want to do that. So I did that, yeah. Well, we actually got the melodeon because Mum wanted to start learning it. That never happened, so I started, playing some tunes on it. I never really thought, I want this to be my main instrument. This is gonna, be my favourite one. But it just did become like the main instrument over time. So I like the melodeon a lot.
I think it depends on what you choose to immerse yourself in, because we are back and forward to Ireland so very much. I mean, this is hard for us being in London for this length of time without having visited over the summer. It's quite unusual. And yes, people who'd be in the heart of Connemara picking up a box at the end of the day or a melodeon at the end of the day, there's a certain style, a nice rhythmic dance music that's played there, which we love. But because we love it, we would listen to things like that, and I would imagine that, I hope that rubs off on us. But I guess being brought up in London, you're also exposed to a lot of regional styles. So, we had great people from Donegal, Galway, Sligo, Kerry, the whole lot, so you can kind of choose where to immerse yourself or just dip into a little bit of everything, I guess. I love it. I also see it's a massive community thing, and it's been a very important part of my growing up in London, and I would think probably you're growing up in London as well, is that fair to say? Mm-hmm. And I think anyone who's involved in Irish music, I don't know, there seems to be just a very nice, intergenerational, safe place that's really, fun to be a part of and regular, and it's like guaranteed to make you happy, really.
Hi,
It's really, really great to be here at the Irish Cultural Centre in Hammersmith. Indeed, I think it's our first big family trip out past about, the supermarket since lockdown began. So thanks very much to William and to Roz and to Jerry and to everyone for inviting us here to play a few tunes this evening. We are the Quinn clan. I'm the rogue Ryan in the Quinn clan. We have Pete here on keyboard. We have Annie next to Pete on uilleann pipes, flute and whistle. And we have Katie here on melodeon and accordion. And I've got the fiddle and banjo and whistle. My name's Karen Ryan. So we're going to start playing a few jigs first of all. The first tune is a composition of the late great accordion player from Tipperary, Paddy O'Brien, and it's called The Coming of Spring. And then we'll go into a composition of the great fiddler from West Clare, Junior Crehan, and that's called The Luherdons. And the one after that is a tune that's been around for a very long time from an old traditional song called Unrogra Dove.
Okay, so the next set of tunes we're going to play, it's 2 tunes, 2 hornpipes. The first one's called Alexander's, and the second one is called the Jolly Beggar Man. We'd all like to dedicate the first tune to our cousins, Eleanor, Dominic, and Alexander, who are part of the Ryan family. So, yep, this is going to be a tune between me and the banjo, so the melodeon and the banjo.
Right, we're going to try a slower now that we learned from the gorgeous singing of Seamus Begley, and it's called Bruach na Carraga Bonnet, and it's from the album that he recorded many years ago with the great guitarist Steve Cooney.
nice to be thinking of Seamus Begley. We kind of would have been in Fecal at this time normally, with the great Fecal Festival in East Clare, and Seamus Begley is always there, singing, playing, telling mad jokes, and just being generally a very nice lunatic. So we're going to play some reels now. I'm going to have a swig of this first. Excuse me, not very. Excuse me. The first reel was written by a great friend of Pete and mine, someone we played with a lot and someone who influenced my music on the fiddle very much so, who sadly passed away in recent months. And that's the great Armagh fiddler, Brendan McGlinchey. And this tune is called Farewell to London. And he wrote it after the first time he spent some time living in London and thinking he would never return. I think he was here for 2 years or something way back when. And actually, he did return, and his very first formal concert when he returned in the 90s was right here. I know not in this particular building because it's the new Spangley building, but he played in this very spot, and it was a wonderful concert. And he played this tune that night as well, much better than I'm about to attempt, but it's a great tune, and I'm just pleased to be playing it. So after that, then we'll go into a tune which was played and still is played a lot by another fiddling hero of ours, Brian Rooney, the great Leitrim fiddler, still living and playing beautiful music in northwest London. And it's called Tie the Bonnet. And then we'll finish with a great classic tune called The Coal Miner at the end. It's always good to get a note in tune.
You look very relaxed there for a man who's about to introduce a set.
The next set of tunes, thank you, my darling. The next set is a couple of barn dances that we enjoy playing, recorded originally by the great Leitrim flute player John McKenna. And if you don't have Sean Gilrain's incredible collection, The Buck from the Mountain, then do get a hold of it. It's a 2 CD set and a book as well about John McKenna, and it's quite an incredible piece of work. And these two are called, Karen, help me out.
The ballroom favourite A and B.
The ballroom favourite A and B. How could I forget?
It's quite easy to remember, to be fair.
Then now Mum and I are going to play two reels called The Sligo Maid and Martin Wins One.
Number one. Okay. Okay. I think we're going to play some marches now. The first one is another Paddy O'Brien tune. We do love Paddy O'Brien's compositions. It's called The March of the 1981, and we are going to go into another march, which is something that we've been playing quite a lot since the start of this year with our youth project, the Trad Gathering. Every year, some of the finest of young traditional musicians in London come together. Pete and myself are very fortunate to work with them from lots of different music teachers and music schools. And each year we focus on a particularly high-profile member of the London Irish music scene, usually from some time ago, listening to some of their recordings and just focusing on a few sets for performance during the year. So this year we chose to study Lucy Farr, the wonderful fiddler from East Galway, who was one of the very few female musicians who was very prominent on the London Irish music scene since about the 60s. And this march, the second one we're going to play, is one that she recorded on her debut solo album when she made it for her 80th birthday. How's that for a debut solo album? And it's called Slieve Orty March, and I believe Slieve Orty was the mountain pretty much just behind where Lucy Farr grew up, where she lived. So should we go for these? Yeah. we'll finish with a couple of reels. How about that? We will play a great tune that's played a lot for dancing in Connemara called The Swallow's Tale. And then we'll go into a tune that's played lots in sessions, was composed by the Cavan fiddler Ed Reevy and called Love at the Endings. That's the second one. Is it popping off? Oh dear. Well, thanks very much. We'll do one more. Oh, got to do one more. We hadn't planned for that. Dawn chorus. So we'll do two Charlie Lennon compositions. Charlie, great piano player and fiddler and composer from North Leitrim. And these are called The Friendly Robin and The Dawn Chorus. Okay, so D and G. Yeah. much, guys. Thank you so much, Ros. You're an absolute superstar, always.